What's up, y'all? It's T-Tar, and today we're looking at more of y'all's theories for Pokemon in 2024. Let's go. The original dragon, signature move, and typing. Hey T-Tar, was just watching your most recent video and I wanted to throw in some of my own ideas. First off, I'd make it Dragon Fairy. Y'all, this is the most popular one. I think that seems to make the most sense typing wise, and I'd give it a new signature move that's Fairy type, but it's like a more broken version of Tri-Attack. 100 base power and a 30% chance to inflict either paralysis, burn, or freeze. That's pretty safe. And I was also bringing up this idea that the original dragon wouldn't have anything to do with fire, electricity, and ice, and would be its own thing entirely. But you know, since the theme of the game is combining them back together, it would be cool to see all three of them working together, like visibly. Wait, in addition to all this, the move will also roll damage for one of the three other types it's representing, if they'd be more effective than Fairy. So for example, if you use this new Fairy move on Landorus, it would switch to either Ice, Fire, or Electric if it does more damage, and so switch to Ice. So essentially, it'd be a Fairy, Electric, Fire, and Ice move. So it would be a Tri-Attack, but it can pick. This is kind of like how the Arceus plates work. Y'all, this is the most overpowered crap ever. It means you can just spam this again and again. Between these four typings, I'm pretty sure this hits anything super effectively. Okay, I thought of a few. It doesn't hit fire super effectively, but it can always hit something neutrally. Sada and Turo Paradox, where's Briar's book? Hey T-Tar, after we give Briar's book to the professor, if you go to Area Zero's Underdepths, there's a note talking about it, but we can't find the copy of the book that we gave. So similar to the Scarlet and Violet book that was able to activate the time machine, maybe Briar's book is another key to something else the professor made. It's a stretch, but maybe Briar's book could make the time machine go to the opposite time. So going to the past in Pokemon Violet and the future in Pokemon Scarlet. So the professors definitely were really fascinated with the white book. I think one of two possibilities. Either the book we gave him is somewhere in the game that we just can't look, or two, that maybe the professor always had it on them and so it got like destroyed when they got in between the Kratom Ride on fighting. This is definitely a cool idea, but I don't think Gamefreak's gonna give Briar's book that importance. Now listen, one thing that is worth talking about is that we have the key to the freaking time machine now, and they even updated our title screen to show we got the key. But we can't go back to the time machine room. The game doesn't let us. Why would they do that? Because think about it, right? If this epilogue is really the end of Scarlet and Violet, it's like the game just kicked us out. But there's something that can clearly happen here. Isn't that weird to think about? You would think they would like let you go back to the time machine. Oh my goodness. I just had an idea. But hold up. You would think they would let you go back to the time machine room to maybe be able to pull the Paradox Pokemon yourself. So in Scarlet, you go back to the time machine room, you put the key, and then you can start pulling out Root Bonnets, right? Or in Violet, freaking Iron Thorns, if you're into that. But listen, I just had an idea, right? Okay, couple ideas. First is, if we get the third and fourth DLC, then that's where this crap happens. But we can't talk about that, not right now. Yeah, I'm so freaking happy with Scarlet and Violet. I would be completely down for third and fourth DLC. I know not everyone shares that opinion, but man, I really enjoyed these games. But obviously, a third and fourth DLC right now goes against their so far norms. But here's the other thing, right? So if y'all know Ku, which y'all do, he said one thing that should be in the games, but it never showed up in the games. It is the PK Hex-like feature, where you get to generate your own Pokemon in some way. That never showed up in the final games. And apparently if I go through Ku's tweets, he's said something along the lines of, it's been scrapped, which means it was taken out of the final game. So what if there's stuff they will still add to this game after? Oh man, this is going back to Dream Theory. It kind of sounds like that time machine is the perfect place that feature would have happened. So if you think about it, it was scrapped, and also the book, we can't go back to the time machine room. It kind of sounds like that could have been the place. All right, how would y'all feel? Listen, I have to say this. How would y'all feel if instead of getting a whole 2024 year again of Scarlet and Violet, which goes against their norms, okay? I know this is unlikely. What if there's just one DLC that releases around June? So that means what we got in this year is the third and final DLC for Scarlet and Violet. Shush. Then we got Johto potentially and Unova potentially, but the first part of the year would focus on Scarlet and Violet still, while they're just teasing bits about the future games later this year. And so in that DLC is where we get the Pika Hex-like feature, and we get to go back to the time machine. And this DLC would not be called Hidden Treasures of Area Zero, it'd be called something else. Okay, I know it's unlikely, I've said this 3 times now, but I had to get the idea out there. How could the game lock us out from going back to the time machine? And I mean, I get if they wanted to lock us out, right? But then why even give me the book, and why did they ever give us the book? Think about it. They didn't have to. Because I love the paradox, right? The reason for the book exchange is to create a paradox, which I love so much. This is what I wanted. I kept making videos saying I wanted a paradox in these games. But guess what? You could have made this paradox if we only gave the white book and we didn't get the Scarlet and Violet book in return. So the fact that we had the whole book exchange and they broke the universe by giving us a book that it's impossible they could have given us. If they're gonna give us the book, why could it lead to nothing? It's just so weird. It's like Gamefreak, they must have been cooking something when they decided to give us the key to the time machine. And here's the other thing, right? Okay, nah, they made it specifically the time machine key, where it has Sudden Tour written in sloppy handwriting. I don't know, y'all let me know. Why do you think they gave us the Scarlet and Violet book there? Cause yeah, there was something symbolic about the AIs taking the books with them. It's like no one can ever mess with the time machine again. You know what, man? I'm gonna have to sit and think on this for a while. Could this book, even if there's no new DLC after this, could the fact that the book is back in our timeline, could this mean anything? More evidence for a Pokemon Presents happening next week. Hey T-Tar, to add on to the video you recently uploaded, I think I found more evidence to suggest that one is likely to happen next week. It's stated that the free update to the DLC will release on January 11th, but specifically at 2 PM GMT, which is a bit strange for them to release this update at that time, as any updates to Scarlet and Violet would normally release at midnight, such as for the Terra Raids, Mystery Gifts, and Outbreaks. Unless they're planning a Pokemon Presents at that time. So 2 PM GMT, y'all, is 9 AM EST, 6 AM PST. This is the time that they set their reveals. All their Pokemon Presents, it's at this exact time. Because this is a time where everyone around the world is generally awake. Even though it's like 10 PM for Japan. So this makes it sound like even if there isn't much, something will be uploaded around that time to go alongside the release of this. In addition, this isn't the first time this happened, and then they give another example of 2 PM GMT being important. So y'all, we could really get one. So listen, of course, no guarantees, but it's lining up here to make it sound like some video will come out to go alongside when this update comes out. Anyhow, y'all, make sure you shank that like button and the countdown continues. It's been, I'll be honest, it's been at 8 weeks for like a week. Why is it not at 7 yet? Do you think something would come out alongside the epilogue's release on January 11th? Keep sending me y'all's emails, it's here, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.